In assignment 2, we're creating a method called midpoint. So a midpoint would be a point in the middle of a line segment. So it says here, think about the return type for this method. It's in the point class, and it will return a point object. And remember, a point object is just kind of like an x and a y coordinate. It's kind of an object that kind of wraps two ints or two, maybe we did floats, yeah, two floats into one point, into one object, right? So that's what it's going to return, a point. It says in this example here, it would return 4, -2. So you can kind of think 4, -2 is exactly right here where I was kind of pointing at before. And numerically, you can kind of take this x distance here, because so it goes from 2 to 6, so it has an x distance of 4, and half of that is 2, right? So it's like 2 from here and 2 from there. That's where we get our 4. And then the same thing for the y distance. So the y goes from -5 to 1, so that's a distance of 6. So they're going to be kind of up 3. Right, so either -2 is up 3 from -5, or -2 is down 3 from 1. So that's our point. Notice that this thing right here says that it returns a point. Okay, so, and think about the way the midpoint method will be called is similar to the distance method. One point is going to call the method, and one point is going to get passed as a parameter. Okay, so same kind of idea as before. All right, so let's go to the point class, which I still have my distance method in, and let's try to create this midpoint. Okay, so a midpoint is going to return a point. Now, one thing to notice about this is a constructor. This defines how you can create a point object. You need to give it the x coordinate and the y coordinate. They will get assigned to that field, right? But this is, you can't just return the x coordinate, you can't return the y coordinate. You want to return both, right? And the way you return both is that object that holds both of those pieces of information, which is called a point. Okay, so I'll say float, and I'm not going to create as many variables as last time. I'm going to say x mid. You know, the other way, let me go back and show that actually. If you're trying to get the middle of 2 points, you can also take the average. Like if I wanted to get the middle of 2 and 6, that's the two x coordinates. One way to do it is to take the difference, 6 minus 2, and get 4, and divide it by 2 and get 2, and kind of know that you go 2 above 2 and 2 below 6 to get to 4. That's the middle. You can also, easier, just take the average. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4 is in the middle of 2 and 6. So really what we essentially do is take the average of the x coordinates and the average of the y coordinates, and that's our midpoint. Okay, so x mid would be, let's see, x plus other dot x divided by 2. Y plus other dot y divided by 2. Now you remember what that means. When I'm talking about x, and I can just write x, I don't have to write this, but I can, and if I do, then that means that is the point that is calling the midpoint. So like if I did like a p dot q, or p dot midpoint q, q would be the one getting passed as other, p would be the one calling the method. Okay, so that would be the first one. But I'll take the two x coordinates, divide them by 2, take the two y coordinates, divide them by 2. I need to create a point. I'll call it P. And I need to use this new operator, which says I'm constructing a new object or instantiating a new object. So point P is equal to new point. The x coordinate, the first coordinate would be x mid. The y coordinate will be y mid. And then the thing I want to return back is P. Okay? So, and remember, we have that draw point method. So whenever we draw this point, so let's go back to this. Okay. So, it actually is P and Q. P is 2, 1. Q is 6, -5. It's going to draw both points. And then R is the midpoint of P and Q. Notice P is the thing calling the method. Q is getting passed as a parameter. R is going to be that point. And then we're also going to draw R. So we're going to see R right in the middle of them. Or we should. Yeah, right here. Okay. And you can also print R, because we got that toString method that actually tells us that it is at -4 or 4, -2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, -2. There's our midpoint. Okay, so midpoint method looks good. We created it and we tested it here in the setup.